Hey everyone, I'm MGUY, and in this episode we're going to see how expensive it was to fix this car. So if you're new to the channel, thanks for stopping by, really hope you enjoy it. And if you like this kind of content with my own cars, a 2013 Maserati Gran Turismo, this gorgeous CL500 from 2011, and a cute little MG Midget from 1971, it'd be great to have you as a subscriber. So if you check out my last video up here, you'll see that I had a bit of a problem with the ABC suspension, which is always a bit scary on these cars because it is a well-known failure point. I was driving over the Harbour Bridge in Sydney and I suddenly got the dreaded ABC malfunction stop driving notice, and I wasn't able to stop driving straight away. I had to get home. I was on the middle of the Harbour Bridge, so I was a bit scared that there might be some damage to the ABC system. So as I said in that video, I took it over to Cameron at CMR Automotive in Marrickville, and they looked into what the problem was, and I'll show you what it is right now. So this is the M278 engine. It's a 4.7 litre twin turbo unit. It's a fantastic engine. It's really torquey. It's great performance for a car this big. So when I first had a look under here, when I got home, this whole area and the underside of the bonnet up here, in fact the entire engine bay was completely sprayed with ABC fluid. So it was pretty clear that the problem was likely to be with the hose, and in fact this turned out to be one of the most expensive hoses on the planet apparently, because it's this one right here which goes down here and into the valve block which is under there. It comes from the ABC pump which is under here, behind here, takes the high pressure ABC fluid into the valve block, which then controls the fluid going into each of the ABC struts. So I thought, you know, oh, it's just a hose, won't be that expensive. No, I was wrong. That single hose is about $800 in Australian currency. So it was quite an expensive job. And then of course there was a lot of labor to actually replace that hose and then clean out the engine bay, and then of course it has to be completely refilled with ABC fluid in this reservoir here, and then it has to have the rodeo test where they activate each of the struts at each corner and it goes up and down a bit like a rodeo. That ensures that the fluid is completely through the system and that there are no air bubbles or anything like that. So look, I guess the good news is that there doesn't seem to be any damage to the pump here, which is one of the big problems. If you drive this system for any length of time without fluid, you can cause all sorts of damage. Check on my video up here which explains some of the pros and cons of the ABC system and how it works. If you get problems with this pump because you're not pumping fluid through it, it can also put shards of metal into the system, which then go throughout all the pipe work and into the struts, and it was a complete disaster. Fortunately, that hasn't happened in this case, which is a great relief. And it also shows there's a little bit of tolerance in these systems. I think the later ones are probably better than the early ones. Obviously, this being a 2011, it's kind of 10 years into the ABC life cycle. This seems to be a bit more resilient than some of the earlier systems. I drove it for quite a while to get home without fluid and with the stop driving warning on the dashboard, which was quite scary. But fingers crossed and touch wood, it hasn't done any major damage to the struts or to the pump, and just simply replacing the hose and filling the fluid up has pretty much put this back to new. So a great result, and one that I'm very grateful for. So just while we're on the subject of this car, The next thing that we're going to do on this is obviously the turbos. They need to be unfortunately replaced. There's an issue with the wastegate bearing on one of them which has worn, creates a rattle at startup. That is an engine out job, so you do both. There's no point in just changing one, so I'm going to do both turbos at some point. There's nothing urgent about that. The car drives fine, the turbos work fine, it's just that wastegate rattle at startup, but I want to get it fixed because it is a nuisance. So that'll be the next thing that we're doing on the CL. So anyway, thanks very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did enjoy it, don't forget to smash that like. It'd be great to have you as a subscriber and hit that notification bell. You can follow me on Instagram down here. I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Bye for now.